Hey guys, hope you're all well. Welcome to today's video. As you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about the marquee matchups or the potential marquee matchups this week. Before I hop into that, firstly, just a quick update on my squad. As you can see, Aguero, basically, I was going to say my biggest investment. He's definitely not an investment at 450k. I can't see him ever getting back above 500. Had a few nice pulls this week. I'll probably put a little clip in at the end of my weekend rewards. As you can see, Costa was a pack pull and Movember Bellarabi. He's only about 20,000. I'm probably going to hold on to him for potential squad building challenges in the future, which with the amount of Movember cards in the game, I'm pretty certain there is going to be a squad building challenge to do with the Movember players. Besides that, let's get into the main point of the video, the marquee matchups. Now, I've picked out 3 games, and I would be amazed if any of them aren't in this week's challenges. I'm going to start off with, in my opinion, the worst investment in my opinion this week is the North London derby. Now, I guess the argument against this being the worst investment is that this is 1,000,000% going to be in the squad building challenges this week. Now, the problem I have with investing in this game is, firstly, because it is such a certainty to be in the marquee matchups, anyone investing in advance to the marquee matchups is going to be picking up Arsenal and Tottenham players. Now, I'm not the type of person, mainly because I can't be asked, I'm not the type of person to go out and pick up 100 of the same player. Now, I can see a lot of people maybe picking up an Ospina or possibly a Ben Davies as a real cheap, one of the cheaper players to pick up in bulk. For me, I like to just have a bit of variety. Personally, I'm not that fussed about making a killing from the marquee matchups. I'd just rather be able to complete it for very cheap as soon as it comes out. Now, the one thing I've started doing is picking up a couple of silver players from the potential marquee matchups. Now, you're never going to be able to pick up these players for cheap. I mean, I paid 1,000 coins for him. I don't know what he's currently going for. I wouldn't be surprised if he's already gone up in value as we are getting closer to this weekend. Oh fuck, what an idiot. Oh my god. Oh, I'm a fucking blank. I wanted to see how much he was going for. What a bellend. That is... Right, we'll ignore that. Yeah, I'll just discard old Son in case I have to. But anyway, back to why I think this is I guess you could call it a solid investment. I don't think you're going to be making more than I can't believe I did that. I don't think you'll be making more than 200 to 300 coins on each gold player. For the fact, I'm pretty certain there's over 40 gold players combined from these two teams, so there's just so many on the market, and the thing that we never know is the requirements. It could be minimum of 1 Arsenal or Tottenham players in a full Premier League squad, which everyone's going to have one Arsenal or Tottenham player in their club. Pretty much 90% of people are going to have one floating about. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend going too heavy on this game. Again, it could be a full team, which is a point I want to bring up actually. I think marquee matchups could definitely do with being a bit harder. I know the rewards aren't brilliant, but again, I think we would all agree that we'd much rather have harder marquee matchups and better rewards. Now, I appreciate we can't get great rewards the whole time, so maybe they just do the marquee matchups as a nice, easy squad building challenge for everyone to do each week, with the odd silver teams thrown in. Now, another quick point, I know everyone wants to know, oh, what's the next silver team going to be? Now, for me, I genuinely have no idea. Obviously, the gold mine, or the biggest gold mine so far, was that Swedish matchup. And unfortunately, all the countries like Sweden, Norway, that have lots of, well, basically don't have any gold league players. They're all silvers. As far as I know, all of those countries are basically on their winter break already. So what that basically leaves the Koreans, the Korean league, is that on here? Yeah, it must be because of the Sun squad builders. Now, those players aren't good investments at the moment anyway, because there's not going to be too many of them on the market. So for now, it's just going to be gold teams, I would have thought. Now, the 3 matches I've gone for this week are all dead certainties, and for the life of me, I can't think of a 4th game. Is it Napoli and Lazio in Italy? I don't think that is a derby, or it might not even be those two playing. But yeah, I'll show you the other 2 games that I have gone for. Probably go with Porto and Benfica. I would say this is the middle of the investments. Again, just a lot of gold players from the 2 teams, and also I was going to say the Brazilian and the Spaniards were selling this week because of the hybrids, but I'm not sure that's true, because there are a lot of Brazilians and Spanish players playing in Portugal. Yeah, I won't list this one, but as you can see, he's already selling. But I would guess that's more to do with this weekend's squad building challenge. I'm not going to waste too much time on who to buy, because honestly it is already too late to make a good amount of coins from this week. But what I will be doing is I'm going to probably be doing 2 videos a week on the marquee matchups. One video like this showing you the teams to invest in, and obviously those videos will be earlier than this one, so everyone has a chance to invest. And I'll also be doing a video once the marquee matchups drop, seeing how I got on, maybe seeing how we got on, if anyone is brave enough to follow my advice, which, I mean, I've done pretty well with the marquee matchup so far. The Birmingham players last week were pretty good. Unfortunately, I only picked up about 10, but still, that was 50k from, what, 1,500 coins, maybe 2,000 coins. So they're the gold mines we're all really after. But like I say, I can't really see any this week. Possibly next week. I know it's the international break. Just a quick... I will make another video on next week's marquee matchups, but just off the top of my head, it is Scotland, or England versus Scotland at Wembley. That is almost certainly going to be a game, and I'm sure I saw someone say yesterday that it is Mexico versus USA, which again, I would put my hat on that being a marquee matchup with the international break. There's not too many derbies in international football, or rivalries as big as England, Scotland and America, Mexico. But yeah, just a quick look at investments this week. This is pretty straightforward. I don't think I have any silver players. Actually, I'm almost certain I don't have any silver players from this league because of the Jonas squad building challenge. So I'm hoping they don't throw a spanner in the works and say, oh, minimum 1 silver player. And I'm pretty certain they won't do that again because of the Jonas squad building challenge. And finally, what I would say is my the best sure thing this week, and that is Hellas Veronis. No, it's not Hellas Veronis. Whatever the Greek league is, it's Panathinaikos versus Olympiacos. A few weeks ago, I invested in a few silver players from PAOK, is that what they're called? Yeah, PAOK, no clue. But again, this is a pretty obscure league. It is only the 3 teams in the league on the game, so this is what I would invest the most in. I'd be amazed if this isn't a marquee matchup this week, just because, as I say, there is only 3 teams in this league on the game, so it's not like they're going to have too many chances to put the Greek league in a marquee matchup. So again, I didn't mention that I invested in all of these players before the hybrids dropped last week. So all of the Spanish and Brazilian players that I had were selling for about 5,000 coins, with the 11 league hybrid or whatever it was called. I did actually pick up this chap just before the video started. He was just over 1,000 coins. I just didn't have any centre backs. I had to pick up this guy as well. Saying that, I bet I've got a few of him in my trade pile. But yeah, besides that, the Spanish players, I think there was 2. There was a Spanish centre back and definitely a left back. I had about 5 of each, and they were selling for 6k as soon as the 11 leagues hybrid dropped. So I just had to cash in. You'd be an idiot not to be honest. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for the marquee matchups. Now, the last squad building challenge I'm going to mention today. Have I even been bidding on anything? Oh, that finished 150k still for Kante. That's probably maybe the one player I'll pick up for the weekend league, but no one cares about that. Back to the squads. Now, I'm going to be talking about the player of the month. Now, for me, it can only be Hazard or Joe Allen. I'm a Liverpool fan, but for me, Mane, Firmino and Coutinho have all been very good. But because they've all been good, there's not been a standout player in that, whereas Hazard and Joe Allen have all been standout players. I guess you could argue the same with Arsenal. How can you decide between Ozil and Sanchez for a player of the month? So I'm basically hedging all my bets on Hazard. Mainly because I wouldn't waste my time doing a Joe Allen squad building challenge. I think I picked up Son for free because of investing before the squad building challenge, but I think even if you didn't invest, you could probably pick him up for 70k, which for me at the time was definitely a bargain. I'd still class him as a 50 to 60,000 coin player, so he was definitely worth doing. But a Joe Allen, there's lots of people that just like to have every card for the sake of it, but I've got a nice amount of coins, but I definitely don't have enough to be chucking away £50,000 on a small, weak, slow central midfielder. So yeah, anyway, to my investments for Eden Hazard. Now, I don't actually have a squad here for Lille. Did I? Maybe I had a concept squad that I deleted. I'll just quickly show you what I've invested in. Now, if you don't know, Eden Hazard's only previous club on FIFA is Lille. So, going off the 2 past squad builders, you would expect there to be a Lille squad building challenge. Before I show you the squads, it's pretty obvious to everyone. The 3 most obvious are, there's going to be a Chelsea squad builder, which for me is going to be the most expensive. A Belgium, which again that's the price of that is going to vary massively based on the requirements. I've just realised, obviously Courtois is the Chelsea and Belgium #1, and if both requirements are pretty high, Courtois' value is going to rocket, because if you have to do a Chelsea team with either Courtois or Hazard to get the required rating, obviously Hazard seems a bit of a stretch. But yeah, if you're having to use Courtois in both squad builders, he is going to be... Well, he's going to be selling for his maximum price. 200k, I don't have a clue what it is, to be honest. Saying because of that reason alone, that's a bit of a long shot. I'd be very surprised if that happened. Anyway, back to the Lille squad building challenge. I've tried to cover as many bases as possible. I've got 10. Got 12 players, so I've got enough for a full team. Picked up some silvers and an inform. The Hazard Player of the Month, if it does happen, is a card that I'll be sweating my nuts off trying to pick up this card. I mean, it is going to be godlike. His standard card is unbelievable in this game. If he doesn't get one, I will be picking up his Team of the Week card at some stage. But yeah, they're my Lille investments. I'd be amazed if you have to have this chap. It's just unfair, really, isn't it? There's just not enough in the game. But yeah, Lille should be pretty safe investments. They've definitely gone up in the last week. I'd be amazed if you can pick up any of the players at discard value, which I didn't mention earlier. The marquee matchups, the gold marquee matchups, are solid investments, but they're definitely not gold mines. I would not recommend picking up players for anything over their discard value. Definitely not more than 100 coins over their discard value. Back to the squads. Shown you Lille. Secondly, Belgium. I mean, a Belgium squad building or Belgian squad building challenge for me would be 100% if Hazard wins. I think they will do this every player of the month, providing the player or the nation or nationality has not been done already. I'd be surprised if they did an English one again, and I think obviously with it being the English league, that is the most likely nation I would have thought to win player of the month multiple times. So but anyway, I'm blabbering on like no one's business, so I'll try and wrap this up as quick as possible. Belgian players, as you can see, I wouldn't use Dembele. Well, I would obviously sacrifice him for Hazard, but I would try and find a cheaper player. I don't know if I have any other Belgian players lurking in the squad. Yeah, I've got a few. Whether they would meet the requirements or not, I'm not sure. Is there a higher rated striker than Batshuayi? Lukaku 84. I wouldn't be surprised if you had to give him up to get Hazard. But yeah, maybe Alderweireld. I know he's not too expensive. He's not the quickest centre back in the world, but he's very highly rated, or very high rated on this game. Definitely another midfielder, and I haven't bothered picking up a right winger because they've got so many good left wingers. If the rating was 82, I imagine picking up a Carrasco and a Mertens, or Carrasco, Mertens, Morales, using them as your two wingers would definitely bump you up to an 82 rated. Again, Belgian players definitely, whether at this stage because of the amount of people already investing, I would describe them as investments. I'm not too sure, but if you are looking to use the Hazard Player of the Month card, 100% go out and buy Belgian players, because actually that's a bit of a stupid thing to say, telling you they're not going to be investments, but definitely pick them up because the prices are going to go up. Yeah, ignore that. Definitely just pick up Belgian players. Fucking idiot. And lastly, a Chelsea squad. I know with Son they only had, was it three Spurs players you needed or something like that, but again I think that's because his card's just, it's not an elite card, is it? I mean, that Sterling card with 95 pace, wing position change was always going to be a sought after card, and also there's not that many great right wingers in the Premier League. I mean, maybe Willian off the top of my head. Is it Mkhitaryan, I suppose, but compared to the left wingers, they're definitely not very good. And even after a month, I still see so many people using the Sterling card. Anyway, Chelsea investments for me, John Terry is a very solid investment for everything. Obviously, he's a Chelsea player, duh. But the fourth squad building challenge for Hazard could obviously be a very high rated Premier League team. Now, I'm not going to waste too much time talking about Chelsea players to pick up. Obviously, Pedro, Azpilicueta, definitely pick up. Cahill, Terry, Begovic. Basically, this whole left side and the defenders and goalkeeper, I would recommend picking up. Obviously, Ivanovic is the highest rated right back. Azpilicueta. Courtois is... I think you're going to need a Courtois. I mean, I'd be amazed if you needed a base Hazard. I just think that would price way too many people out of it. I'm not even sure I would do that, to be honest. I'll probably just pick up the inform Hazard, thinking about it. Besides that, definitely look to pick up some Chelsea players. Again, I think I've got a silver Chelsea player picked up somewhere. I'm going to try my hardest not to list him like an absolute plank. Can I add him to the squad? See what I picked him up for. I only paid 500 for him, and I'm pretty certain he has gone up. Compare price. I mean, we've got 400 bids. 2.5 is the lowest. 2.3, 2.3. So it looks like I can already pick up 2k for him, but again, I'm not going to be selling him in case he is a requirement for the Player of the Month Squad Building Challenge. One last thing, I'll just quickly show you my transfer list. I apologise if this video is about 8 hours long, and I'm just checking that I'm recording because that would be pretty hilarious if I'd been babbling on all this time and I wasn't recording, which I have done before. You probably wouldn't be surprised. I do some pretty stupid stuff. Here is Exhibit A. What did I even pay for him? I paid a K. So I really hope he doesn't just sell for that 250. The fact he's got a bid on him already gives me a bit of confidence that there's going to be a few people lurking for Arsenal players. I'm going to be so salty if you need silver Arsenal players. Anyway, what was I doing? Showing you the players I have picked up now. I've invested in River Plate and Boca Juniors players. I mean, you can choose to do the same. They play the 11th of December, I believe. The start of next month. I've got the 11th in my head for some reason. Mertesacker, even though he's an Arsenal player, I've picked him up more for the Hazard Player of the Month. As you can see, few Olympiacos players, Tottenham, Arsenal, again River Plate, a few Greek players, again another Greek player. Yeah, I've got plenty of him on my trade pile, even though I picked him up for too much earlier. Argentine players again, few. Like I say, I'm not the type of player to go all in on one player. I just like to hedge my bets. If I can make 100 to 1,000 coins on each of these players, I mean, I've got probably 50 players to sell, even if that's an average of 500 coins. That's a 25k profit, which isn't to be sniffed at, and it's not a big effort to pick these players up 3 or 4 at a time. When do I think this squad building challenge is going to be going live? I would have thought, I know last week it dropped today, or on the Thursday if you're watching it the day I upload it. Oh, it's not going to be on here, is it? The marquee matchups. Well, I don't know if they... No, they do get rid of them. I didn't know if they kept all the ones that you completed. But yeah, I reckon this is going to go up. Actually, I'm such a fucking idiot today. I was going to check when does this expire? So this expires tomorrow at 5. Yeah, this will expire tomorrow at 5, which I would guess. And again, this is, I don't know if it's me being Captain Obvious. That's when the marquee matchup is most likely to go up. I know last week was the Thursday. The week before that, I believe, was the Saturday. Now, EA aren't stupid. They're always going to change things up slightly to stop people just making the most obvious investments. Or not even the most obvious investments. Everyone's still going to be picking up the same players. It's just... If you knew the marquee matchup was going up at 6 o'clock every Friday, then everyone's going to list up their players at 5:15 so that they're expiring 15 minutes into the squad building challenge. So that's, I mean, from my experience, when the squad building challenge first drops, now unless you're literally there within 30 seconds to pick up all the cheap buy it nows, the first 15 minutes, well, the first few hours actually, you're going to get the most value for your coins, in my opinion. Possibly not with the marquee matchups, because they're going to be the most heavily invested in because of how obvious they are. Even with the variety of requirements, you're still going to need players from those teams no matter what they put as the requirements. I don't think there's anything else for me to blabber on about today, guys. I hope this video helped some of you guys out. Like I say, it's definitely too late to invest this week. Maybe it's worth, before the challenges come out, just pick up one player. Or I was going to say one player for each team. Maybe one position from each team. Something along those lines. Just in case the players do go up a lot. Like I say, I don't think the marquee matchups, besides the silver players, are that solid, or they are solid investments because they're going to sell for at least what you bought them for. Again, the silvers, that's what we all want to know. I've had a quick look. I can't see any obvious ones on the horizon. I mean, with not knowing what the 4th game is tomorrow, it wouldn't surprise me if there is a bronze or a silver, but you're going to be clutching at straws, I think, to be honest with you, if you're going to work it out. Sure, there's probably 10 lucky bastards out there that are about to make 500k off a random silver team that's about to drop, but I'm completely out of things to say. If you did like this video, if you did find it helpful, please drop a like, maybe even subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. Like I say, I'll be uploading a video once the marquee matchup drops, and then I will be talking more about next week's marquee matchups. Like I've already mentioned, English players, not really worth picking up. There's so many of them. Scottish players, definitely worth picking up. USA, Mexico, just going to have a quick look myself, see if I have any Scottish players. I don't know that I would have picked any up. Maybe Pack Sam, there's a couple in the Prem. There's Snodgrass I could pick up for cheap, I imagine. But yeah, besides that could be a solid one if they throw in bronzes. Actually, no, there's tons of English bronzes. Maybe silvers they'll throw in. But yeah, like I say, talking way too long. Thanks again for watching, guys. Like I said, please drop a like, comment if what you would like to see, or any teams that you think will be featuring in the upcoming marquee matchups, or just squad building challenges in general. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and peace!
Yeah, yeah. out so I don't remember. It's a war and I won't surrender. Getting back on my schedule. Got your whole future ahead of you. But your past is making the present wrong. And it sucks cause you never intended to. And I talk about it's what we tend to do. I'm about to pass out eating edibles. Do it from 10 to 2. Straight to the club. So you with your man, you say you're in love with him. But I doubt it, I doubt it, I doubt it. And you mad, and you pouting. You get loud, you get shouting. Raise your voice to make points. I don't face facts, I face joints. I'm hurt.
She said hurt people, yeah. She said hurt people, yeah. She said hurt people, yeah. She said hurt people, yeah.
The whole concept of success to me is this moving point.
But you're only 20, Lucy. You don't know what love will do to you. Have you acting funny, doing shit that's so unusual. She said you keep this up, I swear you're gonna lose me. Met her on a Tuesday, I remember loosely. So I probably just drink about it, you just wanna use me. Put it in a song, I still love her, she's my Lucy. Damage from the last, so I'm focused on the first.